Welcome to Living the Reiki Life podcast. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Christy, and we're coming at you from the Prairie Province of Saskatchewan, Canada.
We met in the corporate world over a decade ago and became great friends. We started our Reiki journey together, and now we are Reiki masters. Follow along as we navigate life living the spiritual world while still working the 9 to 5.
We gather twice a month to chat all about Reiki and our Reiki journeys, energy healing, and other healing modalities.
We are going to interview some of our gurus and cover a vast majority of topics that we find interesting, and hopefully you do too. Let's get at it.
Welcome, guys, to episode 16. And we're in the middle of the holiday season here, and we hope you're feeling that holiday joy. You know, we don't have a lot of snow here yet, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely feeling that like Sagittarius good energy right now, even though, it doesn't really feel a lot like Christmas here in Saskatchewan, or in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I think other parts of our province actually have quite a bit of snow, but yeah, we weirdly do not have any, which is very off for us. Usually we're covered in it by now. Yeah.
Yes, but I've been enjoying it because commuting to work, I haven't had to worry about it. So just, knock on wood. I got new winter tires, so I'm good to go for when the winter does come. But yeah, so far so good. And we do have the solstice coming up. So it'll be in 6 days from the day this episode is released. And we hope we inspired you from our last episode with things that you can do to connect to this new season and invite it in with like grace and ease. Cause it is a heavy one. It can be a little darker. Like I've had solstices in the past where it's just been like kind of a couple dark days where I just kind of go within and just work through whatever comes up. But that's the beauty of it, because the light does come after, right?
It is. It is like an interesting thing to think of. Like it becomes the shortest and the darkest days, and it can become that for us energetically to become some darker days until things start to like give and get brighter for sure.
Yes.
Interesting how we can take that on, and absolutely.
Yes.
I've started to embrace the winter solstice. I've been like really making a point to go outside and like have coffee, like put on my winter coat and stuff and like take in that fresh air. Like, oh, that's the one thing I love about this year is that air is just so crisp. So I just feel like it almost like shocks my lungs and just gets me awake and get started. I love that. So I've been really trying to do that.
Yeah.
And what actually prompted this was when so we went for a sound bath with our guest today, Janessa, and we went for a sound bath with Qigong. And then I went with my dad actually to another one of hers after we went, and it was a past life one. And I connected in with this girl that I was in a past life that was like outside and super outdoorsy. And she has been calling me to get outside ever since. Like I just almost like can feel her nagging me in the back of my head here. And she's calling me to reconnect with like outside. So I've been really trying to do that and like feed her soul, which is my soul. And and it feels great. Like I love it. I love trying to get into that practice. If I can beat my son before he gets up and get outside, that is my goal. Even if I have to wake up earlier, it's definitely worth it.
Yep. That's so true. That is so interesting about your past life.
Oh, yeah.
I love
it was
that.
Really neat. Yes, it was super cool. I love learning that stuff and reconnecting in with my whole self.
Yeah, there's always so much to learn. Like, you know, when you've dived in to so many past lives, you're like, what else is left? But there's always another rock left unturned, and you just never know what kind of like little nugget is waiting for you. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, just that getting outside, you know, only if it's 5 minutes, that's totally fine. Just go for a quick walk, touch a tree, look at the sun, look at the clouds, just connecting with Mother Earth, no matter what time of season it is just so good for your soul. And of course, your physical body as well.
That's exactly what it is. It is 5 minutes of me just like staring outside, really taking in how the season has changed and just feeling really grounded. Like I really practice a grounding meditation when I'm out there, just really connecting in and feeling aligned. It feels good.
Yeah.
Highly
And that's the
recommend.
best place to ground is outside. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All
And
right.
then we also have the full moon still on Boxing Day. So just something to look out for. Full moon in Cancer, all that emotions running wild. So, just being aware of that space and what you can do to give yourself some self-care as well.
Yes, that's really interesting timing, with like all the hustle and bustle with Christmas and then family. And then we're hit with like all that energy on the full moon the next day. So yeah, just take care of yourself. If you can just, stay at home in your pajamas, and if you want to shop online for Boxing Day or whatever's calls to you that day. I just hope that everyone can find that couple minutes of rest after the holiday season, because it's a lot.
Yes, and you need to have that balance. It's not a good thing if you're constantly overgiving. You need to take that time for yourself and even allow yourself to receive. So keep that in mind. It's very healthy.
Yes, that's great advice. All right, so should we dive into our episode here? We're so excited about this episode for you to hear it. We had so much fun with Janessa. She is just such a bright light and just so vibrant and has a huge heart. And we just can't wait for you to listen to it.
This was the funnest episode to edit. I was laughing so hard through this. And yes, she is just a beacon of beautiful, warm, heart-centered light. She is that hug that just fully embraces you. And this is a fun episode. We know you're going to enjoy it. She incorporates massage and Reiki, and she does sound bath. So some really cool stuff to take in. And let us know what you think. Connect with her, Cosmic Energy Massage, and connect with us as well. We didn't really end off with that. So we are both open for booking appointments if that's something you would like to do. And our handle is for the podcast, Living the Reiki Life. If you want to touch a base with us there. We love your comments. We love reading them. We truly take them to heart. So we really appreciate the ones we've already gotten. And my personal handle is Reiki with Manda.
And yes, if you want to check mine out, mine is the Birch Soul.
Yes. Okay, well, enjoy the episode and we will see you next one. So I met Janessa for the first time when she was finishing her schooling to become a registered massage therapist. She read my chakras with a pendulum before we started and then gave me probably the best massage I've had. Janessa is not only a registered massage therapist, but also has her Reiki, which is probably the best pairing one could ask for. She is trained in sound healing, which we both have had the privilege to be a part of, along with guiding us in a Qigong practice. She reads tarot and angel cards and is going to leave you with a reading for the collective at the end of our episode. So we are so excited to have you and to share you with everyone. Janessa, welcome.
Welcome.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes. And of course, we really wanted to start off with, how did Reiki find you? And maybe a little bit about your background as well.
Well, I always like to think of myself as just, am I allowed? I'm probably not allowed to swear, hey?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like just a regular ass bitch,
Yeah. Yeah.
No crazy, always a little bit intuitive, definitely a feeler, but definitely had to come into my own to figure out how to work with it and not let it overwhelm me. But I think, having struggles with my own mental health, a lot of anxiety, depression, really unhappy in my life, my job, just everything really. And so I just started searching for literally anything. And then I ended up going for a quantum healing hypnosis session. And this lady actually referred me to another lady named Bev Dawson, and she does Reiki, and she has this vibroacoustic sound healing chair. So I started going to see her for energy healing sessions and sitting in this chair that has this sound vibration. So I would sit in the chair and then she would do the Reiki. And honestly, the Reiki felt amazing, but it's she's just literally touching me. It was like, oh, this feels so good. So that's kind of what opened the door for me. And then from there, down the rabbit hole.
Oh, yes, the rabbit hole. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun place to go.
Janessa, did you get into, first off, actually, I want to comment about that mental health thing. That is a common thing for almost everyone who goes down this path, isn't it? Don't you
Yeah.
find when you talk to other people?
It's, in a way, like once you kind of find your way out of it, or at least in a place where you're able to kind of look back and reflect, it's kind of like that, what do they call it, dark night of the soul, the healer's journey to explore the darker aspects of this life. And I think knowing those feelings, experiencing them, can really help you help other people, because you truly can empathize with them. Maybe not like completely, but you have a better understanding of perhaps what people are going through. And that's why I like to try to market myself towards people that are, overwhelmed, stressed, maybe have some anxiety, because that is just so, I hear about it all the time from everybody. So it's like, how can I, help?
And that sound healing chair. I've
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to experience that, but it's like your whole body kind of vibrates, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like a massage, but it's from the sound vibration. So it's like
Neat.
maybe that kind of clicked something with me, like there's something to this sound thing,
That's super cool. I've never even heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
And is she in Saskatoon?
She is. Yeah, she turned her garage into like this cute little healing space. So she's got her table and in the chair, and she is just the nicest lady. Bev Dawson.
Bev Dawson. That name almost sounds
BevDawson.com.
familiar. Right on. A shout out to her. I'm going to check that out. Love that.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
So yeah, Reiki found you at like a profound time in your life. So we're just curious, like, what type of Reiki are you trained in, and like how long did it take you to go through your journey, and just share like a little bit more about that whole experience.
Okay, so I was going for the Reiki sessions and then also taking all these other classes, like literally anything I could sign up for at the time, and you get in that, like the door opens and you're like, I want to know everything. So I ended up finding another Bev, Bev Lazar, and she teaches like mentorship, helping people tap into their intuitive gifts. So I took classes with her all throughout, I believe it was 2019. And then at the end of 2019, got certified for level 1 and 2 Usui Reiki. Yay!
Yay!
Yes, that's the best. And everybody should have their level 1 and 2. It's just, it's so good to be able just to give yourself Reiki, send Reiki to a friend, do it at the kitchen table. Like it's so good.
It really is.
One day, definitely shooting for the master level, but it's like one thing at a time here, girl.
That's right. And it's, you have to feel ready too. Like it's something that can't be rushed. I found like with my own journey, you'll feel the call.
Yeah.
Well, and you just finished doing your massage therapy. So, I mean, I can't imagine how much time that would have taken. It's almost like you have to give your focus. But I love that you have Reiki with massage. I feel like that's pretty common. Well, maybe not that common, but it should be.
I think it's getting more common, which is like people are looking for it. Well, myself, I'm looking for it. It's like, why go to two different things, 2 different sessions? I want to go to one-stop shop, like when you go get your car fixed and they tune it up or whatever. Car metaphors. I don't
We use them too. We do.
Oh, yeah.
I always say you need to come for an oil change. You'll know when the car needs to come. Yeah.
Yeah, just come for the one-stop shop. We'll I call it the tune-up, We with the sound, the massage, and the Reiki energy all in one.
Oh, that sounds so amazing. And you know what, like my massage therapist, she teaches massage and does massage. And she just tells me like how intense that actual massage course is and like how much of the body you have to know. She's like, people don't understand, like massage isn't just like a spa thing. Like this is a health like thing. Like your massage therapist is trained in the entire body and like needs to know all these different things. And it really opened my eyes to appreciate her and the work that she does and the knowledge she has as well. Like how did you find school?
Oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was getting into. I was just like, oh, I kind of had the spa idea in my mind. And I'm like, that sounds nice. And then, I see the classes that I'm taking. It's like neuroanatomy, physiology, pharmacology. I'm like, holy crap, I'm going to be a doctor. Oh my God. I somehow made it through all the classes, and there is so much to know. Every muscle, not every muscle, but like a lot of them. And you have to really nail down your vocabulary, memorization. So yeah, it was really intense. It's almost like I like look back on it like a hazy dream. I'm like, how did I even do that? I don't know. But here I am a few months out of school and I forgot everything already. So it doesn't matter.
Well, we're not going to quiz you when we come for a massage, right? Anymore.
Yeah, like what's this muscle called? And what's this?
It's all in there somewhere in some dusty filing cabinet in my brain. But.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Janessa, like you left a corporate job to pursue this, hey? Like what was that push? Was there like a calling? Were you having a Saturn return? Like what happened? Like that's such a huge move. And I know that I know Freeman Christie and I, it's always been like kind of a dream, right? It's like we're gonna leave the corporate and really pursue our dreams and do our passion full time. Not quite there yet, but it's in the balance, still in the forefront.
Yeah, it is crazy. I actually was going through Saturn return. So literally, yes, that's what makes it so funny that you said that. It's like literally everything around me had to crumble to the ground in order for me to be picked back up. So I was working this graphic design job Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, for I think it was like 6 years. After a year of working there, I had quit, gone to another job, because even after a year, I was like, this isn't for me. Went to another job, didn't like that even more. So I went back, worked there for a few more years, and then I tried to quit again. And can't remember if I actually left. I tried to quit that job like 3-4 times. It was like a bad ex-boyfriend. And actually I'm still working there part-time. It's like I cannot give it up. But I think just being there all day, every day, and there's a lot of like stress deadlines, and it's like you're at a computer, it's just like desk work, And after a while, it really just starts to like break you down. I think if you're not following your soul's calling, if you're not doing something that is emotionally fulfilling, yes, it paid the bills. And that's why I stayed so long and currently still staying. We have to make money. So we had a blizzard. I couldn't make it to work. And I was like, I'm going to quit. I gave my notice, and like the day before, I ended up like backing out. And so it was like, and I was crying at my job. I was breaking down. Like I was not in a good mental health state. I was almost like, well, let's see if they fire me because I'm too weak to quit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up kind of really hitting bottom of the barrel, and we kind of made it through the busy season. So them being the nice boss and management that they are told me to take some time off for my mental health and kind of come back in the fall, when I'm all better. all better quotations. And yeah, so they laid me off. And I was like, I had never been laid off before. And it actually ended up being a huge, huge blessing. So amazing. I was on EI for the first time. It's like, I am not working and I am getting paid. And I was left to kind of figure out the pieces of my life. So that's when I applied for massage school. Ended up getting accepted, and all kind of just everything fell into place. I ended up getting funding through Gabriel Dumont. So it's like the finances were there, the time had opened up. Like it was just like boom, boom, boom. But leading up to that moment, I had about, I think, 3 years of really struggling with that job and wanting to get out and doing the Reiki and the energy healing on the side. So it definitely was not like this is a long time building to when I got out, I'll say. And I'm still not fully out.
That's like, always how it happens.
Taking that leap of faith is just like the scariest part. I used to sit at my old job, and every day I would be like, I can't be here. I feel like my soul should be somewhere else doing something else, anything but what I'm doing right now. And it just like, it tore me down like every day until I couldn't do it anymore. And I came to between a rock and a hard place. And I was like, I gotta go. And I'm still, of course, like in a corporate job, but like, I feel like I'm closer to taking that leap of faith because now I know that I left that place and hey, I'm still okay. But it's just like, you start thinking of like, okay, I'm not going to have benefits. I'm not going to have this, steady income, and entrepreneurs work the most out of any people. And, you just like play all those mind games in your head and you're just like, no, just freaking do it. Like it's this lifetime. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, just go, just do it. But I will, one day I will put in that notice and be like, see you later.
Well, it's like, what do you have to lose? Stability, financial security, my home. It's like, these are all the things that go through your mind. But what is that saying? The universe, I had to make you uncomfortable so you would move. It's like, I kind of got like booted out of the job. And then it was like, it's kind of like good because I was too afraid. And so I kind of got pushed off the cliff. But it ended up being a good push off the cliff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what a great way to, like, the universe probably saw you and was like, oh, she doesn't have the courage yet to take that leap. Okay, let's work things out and make her leave in a more gentle way. And I love how that all transpired for you. And then everything was lining up because your guides were probably like, yep, it's go time. Let's get her going.
Time.
Yeah. Love it.
So I really feel for people that have their day job and then they're trying to do their hustle on the side. I just tell them, like, do not give up. Even if you're only doing like one session a month or one whatever a week, it's just something to keep it going. And eventually I feel like if it's meant for you, the snowball will keep rolling bigger and bigger till eventually where you can maybe make that full-time switch. But it's like, you have to do something that lights you up, that is fun for you, that doesn't seem like work.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love how the universe just took over and was like, okay, you've had so many chances, right? You had so many close calls where you almost left. And then they're like, okay, divine intervention. And then everything just aligned for you. That's when you know you're on your path, right? And purpose, it's just like, things just come easily and you're not fighting anymore. That's the beautiful, beautiful message for anyone listening to who's kind of going through this as well.
Yeah, the days that I sat at my desk, like thinking there's no way out, and I would literally daydream about the kind of life I have now, thinking, that's impossible. But it's like, I'm living it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Things can change. So don't, get into a negative mindset. You have to believe that change is on the horizon, even if you have no idea how that's going to happen. That's not for you to figure out.
That's right.
That daydreaming, that's key because you're manifesting what you want to come into your reality. Like that's definitely key. daydream away.
Yeah. Yeah. Stare at that wall. Take that 5-minute break, you know?
Well, I remember when me and Christy were working together, I would look over and she would be out the window just somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, she's in a better place right now. Just taking a few seconds to herself.
I did that a lot.
Little bit of drool coming down
Yep.
the chin. It's like
She's left her
happy.
physical body. She's
Yep.
in the astral somewhere.
Anywhere but where I was. Oh,
Yeah.
forgot about that. That's so
I love
funny.
that. I would catch her sometimes. That was so funny. Another thing I wanted to ask you about, Janessa. So before I went for my massage, you read all my chakras when we were sitting across from each other in a chair, and then you had a pendulum. I've never seen that before. Is that like, did someone teach you to do that, or did you just like, hey, I can read them like this?
That was actually, I have to give credit to Andrea Keller. I believe that's how you say her last name. She,
that's our Reiki master.
Seriously.
She's the one we had.
Well, I love her.
Of course.
We do too. Yes, so much.
Too.
So she's the one that taught me how to do that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she never taught us that. That's hilarious.
Exactly what I thought too. How
Yeah, that was when I was like taking all the classes I could get my hands on, and I took one with her and her partner Kevin, and it was like a month-long thing, one class a week. I don't know, we just went over like yoga, Kundalini yoga, and some energy techniques, protection, kind of like, I feel like opening energy basics that I really needed. And then she kind of showed us that pendulum thing, how to tune in. And I just loved it because it's like, okay, I could take what I'm feeling myself, but then you kind of have that pendulum as confirmation, which as a newbie, you need it. You know, you need that confirmation.
Yeah, what a great tool. I really love that. And it's like, so when it spins, like, do you have like a way of like, oh, the chakra's open or it's like closed, or like how does that work?
So what she taught me was, when everyone, recommend that you kind of get your own pendulum and work with it, infuse your energy into it, kind of get to know each other, and hold the pendulum and ask for it to show you the signal for yes. So that can be different for everyone, whether that's back and forth or spinning open. So for me, it was spinning in a circle, meant kind of open and flowing. And if something was closed or asking for a no signal, back and forth swinging. So that's kind of, everyone can get a different signal from their own pendulum depending on whatever works for them, honestly.
Yeah, that's right. Because I was just thinking, when I like got to know my pendulum, yeah, I got to ask it like, what's yes, what's no, and then what's maybe. And yeah, it's opposite of yours actually. So yeah, we're all different in how it responds to us.
Yeah, and I actually I just recently stopped doing that, reading the chakras or the pendulum, because I was guided to, drop the pendulum. It's like, you don't need it anymore. So now I've been doing readings while people are on the table and kind of doing an energetic scan and tuning in that way, which is a little bit scary because, you're dropping your little safety net, and but it's good. We're learning, we're growing, we're trying new things, and it's good.
That actually sounds like the Reiki side coming in more, doesn't it? Like, it's like when you're hovering over and you're getting kind of a read of the chakras that way. So that's really cool. That's like, yeah, you don't need that anymore. Take away the crutch. Yeah, that's so cool. I loved seeing that, though. I have to say, I didn't think that was a crutch at all. I thought this is wicked awesome. Especially, she'd be over one of my chakras and it would be like barely swinging. And I'm like, well, that can't be good. And you would politely, just so gently, be like, hey, just be a little bit more open. The pendulum's just dying. Like, I loved it. So neat.
It's okay. Everyone's got a funky little energy spot every now and again. It's all good.
Probably why we find you when we do, is because we have that funky spot. Yeah.
Yes.
Help me out.
Well, maybe we'll bring it back for the special VIP clients like
That's
yourself.
great. I'm seeing you tomorrow. So keep that in mind. I'm booked in for tomorrow night.
Right. Oh.
So recently, Amanda and I came to a sound bath that you were hosting, and it was amazing. And just we wanted to like explain to the listeners like what like are singing bowls, like what is a sound bath, like how does it all work? And then you also incorporated qigong, which was amazing as well. I really enjoyed it, and I took away like some of those movements that I really enjoyed, like connecting to like the sky and then the earth, and yeah, it was just so neat. But yeah, I'll let you explain like what the sound bath is.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you took some of those movements because that's literally what they're for. And the sound bath, regardless of what people might think, everybody keeps their clothes on. It's not a group bath.
Oh,
I have had people ask, they're like, well, I would come, but I just don't want to take my clothes off. And I'm like, no, girl.
I thought you were being cheeky. I can't believe people
I have
actually
had people ask,
So
so
funny.
I'd like to clarify. This is
That's
a
a good one, then.
fully clothed, bathing in just sound. So I use Tibetan singing bowls. A lot of people also use crystal singing bowls. I opted for the Tibetan ones because they're made out of metal, 7 different types of metal. I ordered them and they were shipped from Nepal. And they're just a tool to help, I believe like monks use them, to send out healing vibrations. It's like everything in this world, we're taking something that is not tangible and making it tangible. So say sound, making it into a bowl and playing that bowl, you can feel the vibration, especially when it's placed on or near your body. It's like that sound wave that you can't see, you can hear it, but now you can feel it. And so I love incorporating that. And the sound baths are just honestly like my playground to do whatever the F I want, honestly, because I have a variety of different instruments. So you said sound baths. Sometimes I call it a sound journey because it's not like everybody else's sound bath. I've been to other sound baths and they use, just crystal bowls, and I'm not saying mine's better or anything like that. It's just they're different, and I love crystal bowls too. I just didn't get any because I felt like I would break them, because I'm a clumsy girl. So, so metal bowls, I use a flute, drum, rain stick, kind of whatever I'm feeling that night. So that's kind of the sound portion. It's sort of, I have a rough idea of what I want to do that night, but a lot of the time it's kind of just going with the feel, getting the feel of the group, the energy, and seeing what's calling out to me. But at the base is always the Tibetan singing bowls. They bring such a beautiful tone and sound and able to relax people and bring them back to their body or shoot away from their body, depending whatever they need, So that's the sound bath.
Laying down and meditating while you're doing that is just, it brings you to a whole other frequency, wouldn't you say? It just amplifies it, and it's amazing.
Well, I know for me, trying to meditate, sometimes it's really hard to get over that little beginning hump of the monkey mind and the chitter chatter. But I find the sound just kind of instantly brings you, boom, right to where you want to be. You're not thinking about anything because you're focusing on the sound. And so it's a great tool to get people out of their head, including myself, because I'm crazy. And it's like, yeah, nobody gets into healing because everything's going great. Right?
Yes, that is very true. And with like the sound bowls, is it like you have one bowl for each chakra? Is that like how it works?
Yeah, and then especially for one-on-one sessions, I'll use a bowl if I'm feeling one chakra is a little bit out of balance or needs more energy or some clearing. And the sticks that I use, I don't even know what you would call them, brain fart. The things that I use to ding-a-ding-ding them. there's a wooden side and then there's a like leather side. So they say there's a male and female tone. So they're both a little bit different depending on which end of the stick you use. And then there's the mallet part, which kind of gives almost like a softer tone. So they can make some different sounds, especially with different combinations of them together. And yes, versatile.
Awesome. I didn't know that about like the wood thing.
The wood thing, you know?
A mallet? Is that what
the fancy term? I'm sure there's a fancy term for it, but
Yeah.
I'll just call it the wood striker of awesomeness.
Awesome. Yeah. That's right. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that masculine and feminine. I didn't know that either. I really like that too. It's so many levels to it.
And there's still so much that I don't even know. It's like sometimes I feel like a noob, you know?
Well, you definitely
It's
didn't
like-
come across as a newbie by any means.
No, not at all.
Well, I'm not like a traditional musician or anything. I've dabbled in guitar in my teens and just that's about it because I mostly just buy these random instruments and just play for fun. No official lessons or anything like that. So sometimes I do feel a little bit out of my league, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm here to show people you don't need to be training your whole life to do something. It's like, if you like it and you have fun and you know what, maybe you're not the best, but you know, maybe you ain't the worst either. So just give it a go and just do it.
And can you touch on now? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
can you
the
touch on now
Qigong.
the Qigong? Yeah.
Qigong, yes.
So how did you train in that, or how did you get started on that? Like, obviously, you're taking so many courses. I love this.
Yeah, this is at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, I'll call it. So I was at work, you know, being miserable. Then I was typing into Google. I was like, well, let me see meditation and see what comes up. And then I found Catherine Dempsey with Amethyst Therapies. She does sound healing with crystal bowls and Qigong. So I went to one of her classes and just within like the first minute of doing the movements, I was like crying. I was like, what is happening? My face is leaking. So I thought, well, there has to be something to this. Obviously, I'm getting some kind of response in my body, and I loved it. And she had the sound mixed with the Qigong, and I was like, I freaking love this so much. And then so I ended up taking my level 1. And then a few months later, took my level 2. And then I think, when was it? Maybe in 2020, I took my group leader certification. And then that's how I started bringing it to the sound baths and pairing it together, because obviously it's an amazing pair together, the sound with the movement. And yeah.
Because we incorporate a lot of those moves, like when we do Reiki, Christy and I, like we kind of just intuitively feels like we're really just like moving their whole energy in their body. Like sometimes it's like almost like a wind tunnel. Like it's really intense. So I loved your explanation of everything and just walking us through those moves, and just like Christy has take home ones, like same here. Like I just loved it.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I first took it. So to be able to like pass that on to other people is absolutely amazing. I'm so thankful for Catherine Dempsey, another name drop to all the wonderful teachers and that have led me down my path.
Yeah, and I like with Qigong, I kind of like I've gotten into yoga before, but like sometimes like yoga can be really intense, like on my joints, and like I might hold a pose too long or I just not feeling it. But I feel like with Qigong, it's just something you could like hop off the couch and be in your jeans and you don't need your mat, like nothing. You just move your body. And sometimes I'll just do it like intuitively and just see what weird shit comes out of my body and how I move. And it just feels so much better. And it's just, it seems like such a simple concept to just move the energy like it, but it works. And just like having that paired with like the sound bath, it was just like the peanut butter and jelly. Like it was just like, we just like moved the energy out and we woke ourselves up and then we got to lay down and then like a clear channel just for that sound bath to come through. And it was just so good. I can't wait to do it again.
Well, that's what I love about it. It's like so simple. And I love that when I was learning the teacher training, they were told you to emphasize, people like, don't worry about doing the moves perfectly. Okay. It's okay to kind of like do your own thing or just feel it out with your body. And I was also taught that you can lay there with your eyes closed and just visualize yourself doing the movement. So even people that are, are paralyzed or immobilized somehow, they can still picture themselves doing the movement, moving the energy, and they're still getting the benefits.
Wow.
Because it's really the power of your mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I forgot I wanted to do that before bed. I'm going to do that tonight. Yes.
Yeah. It's lazy. It's almost like working out, but energetically working out.
Yeah, I love it. But even when I'm in like a funk, if I put on music and I start dancing, like that movement of my body and just listening to a good song, it just raises my whole vibration and brings my body, just feels so much better. Feels like looser and yeah.
Yeah, keep things moving, like a little pond. If it's stagnant, gets a little nasty, a little gross, a little stinky of poo-poo, So you gotta have some nice fresh water, keep things flowing and moving and crystal clear.
We're all going to remember that for sure.
Yes. I'm feeling stinky today.
I'm feeling like the swamp.
Like a big old slough.
So good.
So Amanda and I, we actually did a whole episode on like the clairs, like explaining what they were and what clairs we work with, because everyone's like so different with like your senses and like what's coming through. So we're curious, like, what is your strongest clair and like how do you get messages from spirit?
Well, I think my strongest is clairsentience, that clear feeling. Yes. So I think that is definitely, I've always been a feeler and almost a little bit of claircognizance where it's just like things will get like dropped down or I'll just have a feeling about something. It's like I have no logic or reason to back this up, but it's like a feeling that I have. So that's kind of what I've always grown up with and just learning how to hone that in. But now I really, in my session, have been trying to develop my clairvoyance, the clear seeing in my third eye, especially. Been getting a lot of like metaphoric images. I'll get weird pictures in my brain, and then I have to try and decipher what it's meaning. But the more I do it, you almost get like a key of different symbols for what the meaning is. So if you keep doing it, you eventually have your little map and key of your signs from spirit. So that's what I've been working on developing.
I love it. Yeah. And I remember learning like my clairvoyance when it opened up, and just like being like, hey, I'm being shown this. What does this mean? And then just like kind of creating that dictionary, like that manual as you go. And I find like with spirit guides, they are so metaphorical. Like sometimes it's like charades and you're like, what's going on here? Then you get it and you're like, oh, that was such a good way to get that message to me. And yeah, and it's just like trial and error as like it opens up and gets stronger, and you just keep practicing. And yeah, it's a fun one, clairvoyance. I enjoy it.
It is. Lots of room for interpretation, though. That's where it's like you
Yeah.
really have to trust yourself and go with your gut on that one.
That's so true.
Sometimes I'll just get like a word or something will just drop in and it'll be like, bam. And then I'm like, okay, well, there's no questioning that. So that's kind of nice when that happens.
Yeah. Like sometimes like when you're with a client and you just like blurt something out and they're like, how do you know that? And it's like, yes, you know, it's just like, I'm glad I said that. Like, you know, it's like you almost didn't, but then you did. And it was so profound for your client. You're like, thank God I said that. Like I had something random come through a Reiki session and I almost didn't tell her, but I told her and she was like, holy shit. She's like, that's the whole reason. And I was like, almost didn't say it. And it's like just building that trust in yourself. And it's quite a journey. Well, like for me, but yeah.
It's a big struggle when you're in a session and you're like, am I making this up? Should I tell them? Should I not? And then there's certain things that I will keep to myself, but it'll keep coming up again. And I'll keep thinking about it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just have to like let it go. Just let it out there. Stop filtering. And I think that's when the good stuff comes through, is when you're just able to let it flow out and you're not questioning it, not second guessing.
I went through like a string of clients where I kept getting Disney movie references. Like it was so random. It's like, this is the way my spirit guides know that I'll get it. If I just think of this specific part in this Disney movie, and I literally would be like, have you seen? And then the specific moment is exactly how I could relate it to you. And it would resonate. It's so weird. Anyways, I don't know why. It's just like it'll come in like chunks like that. But it hasn't happened, I guess, in a couple sessions. But yeah, so random.
There's a theme. Disney.
Yeah, it was so weird for a while there. Yeah.
It's just something that like people can, like most people can relate to. And, you know, it's funny, like Amanda and I were just chatting the other day about like getting validation from a client. And we're like, will we ever get to a point where we don't need that validation? Like, how do you feel about that? Do you ever feel like you would get to a point where it's just like you have like the full trust and it's just like you go with the flow? And
I would absolutely love that. But I feel there's always a part of me that is going to want that validation. It's always good to have that, like, you know, that really hit home for me, or that resonates, or like, oh my God, that totally is true. You know, it's just a good feeling to be like, I'm not crazy.
yeah, no, that's so true.
I'm not making shit up. I'm not making shit up.
It's such good positive feedback too, right? Like it's needing. I think that's our human. Like, oh, I need it. Like, no shame.
Yeah. You know, it's okay to have a little pat on the back once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does make you feel good. That's so true. It's just like, yeah, okay, I made her feel good. I made her see something new, or like, I don't know. I get super excited and lit up when it does happen that way.
Yeah, even just getting like confirmation or signs from spirit. It's like every once in a while, I feel like we all kind of need that little magical moment to happen where we question reality. It's like, oh yeah, okay, all the stuff that I believe in, now I'm seeing it in front of me. You know, feathers or numbers or weird coincidences, things like that. I feel like those are almost needed as well to help us stay uplifted, keep going. It's like, you're on the right track, we're still here, it's okay. Just that nice reminder that spirit is always with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
And just to give Janessa some validation, so when we went to her sound bath and qigong, at the end, well, yeah, the sound bath was very moving, but at the end when you pulled a card for us, I literally cried. I cried at a good release. Like I love it when that happens when I'm the person, when I'm the practitioner, but it feels so good being the client too. So it's like whatever you like that card you had about just really hit home for me and it just yeah. So there we go. Yeah,
Yes.
so very, very good on your end.
Oh, well, thank you. And I know what you mean about on the practitioner side. Not that I'm trying to make people cry or anything, but it's always
You want them to
somewhat,
release.
yes, yes. It's like I know you're holding on to a lot, and
Yes.
then to have them feel safe enough to let that go, to release it out. It's like I'm clapping and yay on the inside while I'm,
Oh.
helping them move through that moment, but it's always a cheering on the inside, like, yes, let it go.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
agree.
Disney movie Frozen.
That's right.
Ah, so good. Have you had any like healing sessions you want to share with us? Like anything really that stands out or something that really kind of sparked a fire for you?
Right. Well, I
Besides
guess
mine, of
the
course.
well, I guess what we're talking about, like emotional releases, those ones where people are able to have a beautiful emotional release, always um, are like a special session for me, because I've had sessions where I've gone and had to release, or something comes up out of nowhere and you're like, where is this coming from? And I don't want to cry in front of someone. Like, I don't want to be vulnerable and snotty and all of that. So for someone to do that on my table and I can help assist is always like my favorite sessions, when we're moving not only like muscular tension and energy, but also stuck emotions. I feel like our muscles are storing so much that we're not always tuned into, so that when we are able to get in there and release something that is really tight and hurting and like feel it let go, like literally release and loosen physically, and then to have the motion be able to release and let go at the same time. It's just like this beautiful thing that's just like, yes, this is what I'm here to do. It's like literally we hold on to so much, myself included. So anytime can have a little release, a cry. I love a good cry. If you cry on my table, I might just even join in, for fun.
Can you tell, Janessa, like if someone you're massaging someone, if it's like an emotional block or if it's a more of a physical thing? Like, because we definitely store our emotions in our body, which can create a lot of physical pain. Like, can you kind of pick up on that when you're massaging?
Well, what I've noticed is I've been seeing some patterns with people. Different areas of the body I feel like hold different emotions, especially in our neck and upper shoulder area. It's where a lot of people hold our stress. Obviously, when we get scared, our shoulders jump up like a reflex. So that's where a lot of people hold a lot of their stress there, and even in our hip flexors as well. Because when someone jumps out and scares you, you kind of do that jump, that reflex. So it's like these muscles that are reflexing by themselves in that stress response. Those are the muscles that are often holding a lot of emotion for us. So, like our psoas muscle, it's a hip flexor. It's really deep, and it can be quite uncomfortable to work on. But even having my own worked on, it's like they just barely touched it, and I'm crying. It's like, why am I crying? I don't even. But it's like so deep. It's in your hip. We hold so much in our hips around like shame. I feel we have so much shame when we're hiding, we're scared, we're frightened of the world, so we're tensing up. So definitely hips, in our upper shoulders and then our diaphragm as well when people are shallow breathing, and often when we're stressed or scared in that fight or flight response, we're taking those shallow breaths. And the diaphragm is a muscle. So it's like you have to expand and contract it. So if we're not fully taking in those deep breaths, we can't get our nervous system back to that rest and digest state. So definitely those are some areas where people can be holding on to a lot. But as for specifically, it's kind of different for different people. Sometimes it'll come a certain emotion when I'm working on, say, someone's shoulder, feeling like maybe they have a lot of burdens on their plate, or they're carrying a lot of stress or responsibility on their shoulders. Along the spine, I find when people are having really tight spinal muscles, it's like they're either having to do everything themselves or they're feeling like they're not supported somehow. Especially in the lower back, that can mean not having enough financial support. And then as you get upper, it's like family support and emotional support, and just kind of seeing what kind of patterns come up. And I'm sure with even more experience, I'll notice more things. And yeah, but those are kind of just the trends that I notice right now.
That's super fascinating because, I hold all my stress right in here and right in the shoulders. And it's just like some sessions she'll spend 45 minutes just in this area. And it's just, and it affects your entire body because it's all connected. And, or you go in and you're like, I'm sore here, but then she's working on your foot and you're like, what's going on? But it's just it's, so interconnected. And massage is such a powerful tool to go to. And I worked with so many women that sit in an office all we're sitting at our computer all freaking day, and we have benefits. We're very fortunate to have these benefits. And I would say 80% of those women never went for a massage. I don't have time. I don't want to do it. I'm just God. What? What? How? This is not free money, but it's just why don't you take that time for yourself and feel better, invest in yourself and just go do it. It just blew my mind that people wouldn't take that time. Cause I need to go every month just to get tuned up and just feel good. It's a really important tool, with me and my body.
Yeah, time is honestly the biggest thing that I hear from women, because we're trying to be the homemaker, the cook, the chef, the maid, the breadwinner. We're trying to do it all. And where do they have the time? Usually when they get a little bit, an hour time slot, usually it's to, lay down or do something else, clean. It's just, we have a lot on our plates nowadays. So if you can take the time, definitely come get a massage. I'm a big proponent of massage myself. So
yeah, you won't regret it. That's for sure.
Yeah. I thought when I went on mat leave, I was like, oh, I won't need that because I won't be at my desk. Yeah. So not the case. It was even worse, probably because I was going through such a life change. So much emotion was coming through, right? So it's just yeah, might as well just be right back at the office. It's still all stored in the same spot. Didn't miraculously heal itself. Yeah, definitely. Keep is super important.
Even without even if you don't have any issues, no sore muscles, even just having that human contact, that human touch. We are social creatures. We need that touch, even as a baby, even as an adult. It's so many people are almost lacking. And I'm a big hugger, and I hug my clients, and they told me in school not to do that. But sometimes I feel I need to. And of course, if you're not a hugger, that's fine. I will try not to force myself upon you, but
you know what? I had somebody actually reach to shake my hand after, and I think he maybe wanted a hug. It was one of those weird moments, and I was I should have just went in for the hug. The handshake was awkward.
I don't hug everyone, but if the feeling is there, or if there was a emotional session, I feel like that's always a nice way to, just a little bit extra love, a little care.
I love that. I think that's just like the perfect way to end it, especially if it was like a big session, like a big release. It's just like, hey, like I got you. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I really like that.
Yeah. And the great thing about running my own business is I get to do what I want. So
That's right.
I don't have no boss telling me
no
to
HR.
Be 100% professional all the time. Like tonight, I was like, do I wear my house coat? Do I not? And I was like, you know what? Whatever. This is my own thing. I'm going to wear my house coat because I can do that. Let's get out of that corporate, sticky, all these rules. Yes, rules are great, but, we need a little bit more fluidity and like laid backness in our lives, I feel.
Oh, yeah. Big time. All right. So at the sound bath at the end, we talked about you pulling cards for everyone. And I felt like that was just such a special way to like end the sound bath. And it was just really personal, like personable to go around and just like deliver those messages to everyone. And yeah, that's something I really loved. And do you read like tarot or oracle? Like, are you drawn to one or the other? And like, when did you get like your first deck? Was there like a story behind it? Like sometimes cards are gifted to us or they find us at a weird time or like what was your journey?
Well, I started with oracle cards, angel oracle cards. This was when I was in the taking all the classes mode. I was like, oracle card reading class certification. Sure, let me go do that. So that's how I started reading oracle cards. And, oracle cards are always nice and uplifting. They're like, you're going to be okay. We love you. Just nice and gentle, uplifting messages. And then I started getting into tarot. And I feel like tarot is your girlfriend that will tell you like it is. Like, get up off your ass and leave him, girl.
That's the best way to describe it. Yeah.
I started, I know they weren't gifted to me. I ordered them off Amazon. I summoned them to my doorstep through the power of thoughts and my credit card. And so I started reading them that way, and I bought a book and just been learning on my own, and I like watching other readers, and I like pairing the two together. But I definitely I love that tarot has this like mysterious, like esoteric history to it, and there's so many ties to astrology and ancient religion, and just it's like I feel like they are a gift from the stars.
It's deep. It really is. Yeah, we'll get into that in a whole nother podcast episode for sure.
So tarot is definitely the tell you like it is, whether you like it or not.
I learned that way too with tarot, like watching other readers because I was so fascinated. And that's like, I didn't even end up picking up a book. I think I referenced a few things, but like, and then you read intuitively on top of it. So but definitely learned a lot that way.
Yeah, throw the book out if you want. Honestly, that's what I tell people. It's like literally go with what you feel. Yes, there's a book to help if you want it. But at the end of the day, they're just another tool for you to tap into your own intuitive senses.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes.
And do you read cards for yourself?
Yes, all the time. All the time. Yeah. Yes. I feel like when I'm doing them for myself, I'm having a one-on-one kind of back and forth conversation with my guides or my spirit team, especially when you're asking a question, card comes out and you're like, I don't like that answer. Let me put it back. Come on. Shuffle. Same card. God damn it.
No, that happened to me. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like those funny moments like that. I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I actually pulled cards today and I was like, oh, that one doesn't look good, but these other ones trumped that. So
Yeah. How do I want to look at this? If I want to look at it
definitely.
positively, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I used to pull a card like every morning, and then I just stopped, and I don't really know why.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
actually,
out of
me
it.
too. Now I'm like, usually sit down and have a little 15, 20-minute kind of meeting with my team. I'll
Your
call
team,
it
yep.
That's a
staff
great idea.
meeting, you know?
A staff meeting, yeah. That's a good way to put it. I love
Yeah.
it.
How can we up productivity, you know?
Yep.
Janessa, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we get into like your card pull?
Um, well, I suppose something new that I've been bringing forward is I'm coming out of my channeling closet, and so
Whoa.
I'm bringing forward like the light language and incorporating that into the sound baths now, and even sometimes it's coming through on the one-on-one sessions with people. So that's something that I have been keeping close, my cards close to me, but now feeling the push to finally, put it out there, tell people I'm doing it, and yeah, going from there.
That's amazing.
That it.
Can I ask, like, do you know who you're connecting with?
So it can be like different. I was always interested in channeling. I just wanted to do it so bad. So I bought a book, and it kind of brought you through some exercises of how to connect yourself. And then I took a couple lessons, and that's when the light language came through for me then. And so now I've just been channeling for myself, and sometimes it'll be different. And I'm still trying to focus on the message more so than who I'm channeling, because when I think about who, it gets me all stressed out, and then obviously it kind of lowers my vibration when I'm like, oh my God, I need a name, I need specifics here. I've been trying to just put that to the side and think, okay, listen to the message, feel the energy, and see what comes through. And the light language is great because it's not in English. You can't analyze it. You have to let yourself go and speak and let it come through naturally and flow. And even while doing that, you have to let go of, what am I going to look like? How is this going to sound? It's a little bit weird, a little bit out there. Sometimes my voice cracks. Sometimes I cry. Weird shit happens, But it's like, that's the good practice to, have to let go of what other people are thinking and just do you.
And then do you know, like, since it's not in English, like, do you just know what the message is?
I'll have a feeling of how it feels when it's coming through. And then, so this past sound bath that I did, it was a light language sound bath. So each, I was going to say contestant, each participant, I would go around individually and do a little transmission for them. And then kind of like I did for you guys, a card pull at the end. And then I kind of just told them what I was feeling and what the energy was coming through. So I have like a feeling. I'm not exactly, word for word translated what it means. But this is a good practice if you're in your thinking, logical mind, and even receiving it. You have to, don't think about what I'm saying. Just feel it and accept it if you want, if it feels right for you.
That is fascinating. I've heard about it, but I don't know very much about it. And yeah, thanks for explaining that. Well, I want to come experience a sound bath with light language now.
Well, I'll put it in the future events. Definitely.
Yeah.
We'll be doing more of that.
I'd love that.
Yeah, that's super cool. I can't wait to see how that progresses and gets stronger, and just so exciting for you. Love it.
Yes. Thank you.
And it just like, when you look at all the modalities that people like offer, it doesn't seem like it's like really available. Like I don't see anyone really doing it like within Saskatoon that I know of. So it feels like it's like your time to do it, like step into it. And good on you for like putting yourself out there, because I know how hard that is. And that's just like a proud moment. Like, be proud of yourself.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think there are a few, but they're probably like me, keeping it secret, keeping it hidden, because it's a little bit weird, a little bit out there. But that's when it's time. I was really worried about how are people going to take this? What are they going to think of me? But honestly, regardless of that, I'm sending out my beacon to my other little starseed light language speakers out there, and send them my way.
The right people will find you.
Definitely. Have you heard of Elizabeth April?
That sounds really familiar.
She kind of does a lot of that, and she put out a book. It's super good. It's called You're Not Dying, You're Just Waking Up. And like she connects a lot to like Pleiadians and other light beings, and I don't know, just something to check out. I don't know if she actually really
I think maybe I have her on Instagram, I think, because I was like, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Yeah. Her book is so good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, neat.
Yay!
Yeah, do you want to end us with a card pull for our audience?
Yes, I have to grab my cards though.
Yes, what do they need to hear today?
I was going to say the people in TV land, but this isn't TV land. This is the future. The future podcast land. Message for the viewers. Send you on your way with a nice message. I am using these numerology cards. I like them because they are super simple. Sometimes simple is the way to go. Okay. So of course, like 5 came out. So we'll just go through them. So we've got a parenting card, which I always relate to inner child healing. Everybody out there needs to remember to take care of that little one inside, making sure that we're paying attention to our thoughts, emotions, feelings, and being nice to ourselves. I also have this completion card, which is, I feel like the old ways of doing certain things are coming to an end. So just like I talked about giving my clients hugs and things of that, being a more nurturing society, more emotionally deep and willing to listen. So I feel like the old cycle, the old way of doing things is done, and we are the light workers bringing forth the change. So with a new cycle, we are the trailblazers bringing forth new knowledge, and we have abundance card in reversed, meaning everyone is really feeling the strain of the finances right now. And this is really tough because obviously we have to live to survive, but knowing that true abundance can lie within our relationships, family, love, and if we all band together, there is enough abundance, enough to go around for everyone. No shortage there. And we got happy ending and pride. So happy ending is just there. It's like, we're going to be okay. You know what? Life is hard, but when you have great experiences with great people, you're going to be okay. And be proud of who you are and what you bring to the table. Everybody has something unique. And so that thing that makes you a little bit weird or out there, that is the thing that you need to bring forward. So yeah, it's all going to be okay. So get on that inner child work, be the trailblazer. Do not get into a scarcity mindset. Be proud of who you are, because in the end, we are winning. we're winning at life.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bam.
Yep. Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Such a good
Well,
reminder.
thank you. Yes.
Everything. And Janessa, where can people find you?
Well, they can find me on my social media, Facebook and Instagram at Cosmic Energy Massage. And you could probably go to my website, but I haven't updated it. It says I'm student, so don't go there.
Well, go there anyways, because
you
even
can
though
go
it says
there.
student. So if you're in the Saskatoon area, Janessa is offering obviously massage, and come check out a sound bath with Christy and I, because I think we're going to go to the past life one. Aren't we going to go that next? I saw you just posted.
Yes, I just posted that tonight.
Oh, I would
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
Yeah, we love to tap into a past life. It's always a good thing for us.
Some healing on different timelines is always good for the soul.
It really is.
And we'll link all of your things in the show notes so people can just click away.
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh,
Well, you guys are amazing. I mean, you gals, you lovely lady, you humans, you little star seeds, you little cuties, spreading the light, you know.
That's right. Oh, just thank you so, so much. Like, I learned so much about you, and like, I had no idea how dedicated you were to your spiritual journey with everything that you've learned. And I feel like I can learn so much from you still. And I'm just so glad that I've met you. And thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
yes, thank you so much.
Sweet.
Love this. I just can't wait to keep moving forward. And I feel like you're now part of my little community that I've been growing. And I'm super excited about it.
Yay! I'm excited too.
All right. Well, everybody, that's it for today. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
1,